As we enter 2022, I think virtually everybody is going to look ahead to the elections. And it's very interesting how many people on the Democratic side are now retiring. In fact, they may be moving towards a record for the number of retirees. That creates open seats, increases the opportunities, stretches their resources. Even if it's a Democratic seat, the people who run the primary are all going to be out gathering money and absorbing resources that could have gone into competitive races. At the same time, President Biden continues to decay as a president. His polling numbers get worse. His inability to deal with COVID, his inability to deal with inflation, his inability to deal with the migration. The whole process of we're watching is one of failure. It was sort of captured when there was a huge traffic jam on I-95 at Fredericksburg, Virginia. People literally were trapped in their cars for about 24 hours. And it was in the middle of that Kamala Harris's staff sent out a tweet from Kamala Harris commenting on how the new infrastructure bill had America back on the road moving again. It was about as weird a moment as you're going to get, and made her look kind of like she was totally out of touch with what's going on. That, by the way, was a traffic jam so big that a U.S. senator actually was trapped in the traffic jam for about 24 hours. Cars were running out of gas because they had to keep their engines running just to stay warm. It was a pretty good mess, although luckily I don't think anybody was killed, which was a good thing. The economy, I think, is going to be very rocky this year. Sooner or later, the Federal Reserve is going to have to raise interest rates because the inflation rate is going to continue to rise. The shortages are going to continue. There are now over 120 ships that are sitting offshore from Long Beach. That's up from about 60 a few months ago. They cannot solve their whole logistics chain problem. That's going to take them 6 months or a year more, if they're lucky, to get that done. The energy problems will continue. The price of gasoline is about to start going back up. So I think it's going to be a challenging year for the Democrats. Could end up being a remarkably good year, making Kevin McCarthy Speaker and giving the Republicans a majority again in the Senate. We'll see what happens, and I'll be reporting as the year goes on.